Greetings and salutations, everyone! My name is Fire Mage, and welcome back to Rimworld Ascension, Take 2, Episode 37. If you enjoy this episode, please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, mod list is down in the description. And with that, let's get on to the episode. Alright, well, picking up where we left off last time, what are my plans for today? Well, if you will recall, last episode, we began work on the trench network, and unfortunately, we have burned through literally all of our steel. So the first thing we are going to need to do is get more steel. Now there's two ways we can go about that. The first, and the one I'm going to set up right now, is to mine this steel deposit over here. That way we can get some steel from that. Now, other than mining the steel, of course, there's also trade, which we will be sending out. But steel is not the only resource we are lacking. We are also completely out of wood. Which is annoying because, well, our power source is fueled by wood. So we will be trying to refuel that while also chopping down all these trees. Now, other than getting some more steel and wood, the other things I would like to get done are, of course, finishing the trenches and then building some more houses, but also, I think it's time we upgrade the armory. Now that we are in the industrial era proper, we will be needing to make actual military uniforms, which we will be doing at some point in the near future, but the first thing we need to do is get a proper armory, which I think we will be putting right here. Not too close to the front lines that it can get overrun, but also not too far away that it's inconvenient. Let's go ahead and get Blackjack to go and equip the trading outfit. That way we can send that out real quick, because the sooner we can go get some more steel, the better. Alright. To form a caravan, as always, we will be going to Tusla in order to make the maximum amount of profit. Make sure we send all of our money, and we really don't have too terribly much in the way of trading commodities, so we will just have to make do with what little we have. And then, of course, we need to make sure that we are taking only what we need in terms of travel goods, and I think that's about it. Like I said, we really don't have too terribly much going for us right now. And Blackjack has arrived at Tusla. Let's go ahead and do some trading. Alright, well, first things first, let's go ahead and sell off what little we brought with us. Won't net us too terribly much in the way of money, but we are mostly here to see if they are willing to sell us some steel. And it looks like they are. A little too much for us to carry, though. You know, just about double our carry capacity. So let's go ahead and see just how much we can actually carry. Well, it looks like we can carry exactly 240 steel. That's not a lot, but it will have to do. We'll also go ahead and grab a single meal, since Blackjack did not take enough food. And that's that. Now we send Blackjack back to town, and hopefully that will be enough steel to at least make a good dent in the barbed wire. Each piece, though, takes 10 steel, so it's not cheap. Hopefully, as soon as that plasteel gets done being mined, Domictus here will start mining some steel for us. Oh, and it would appear that our German Shepherd is trying to kill the vampire that we have just had sitting in here. Oh, and they successfully killed the vampire. Isn't that neat? Well, that's convenient. I guess I don't have to deal with her anymore, or her body, apparently. German Shepherd 3 just completely ate a vampire. Mildly horrifying. And flak armor is done. Which is good, because that means that we can now make riot armor for the prison. Which will be better, I think. If anything, it'll simply look cool and thematic. Now, next up, I know last episode I said I wasn't going to do this. However, I think I was a little too quick to jump the gun on skipping out on support kit, mainly because of the support pouches here. 15% construction speed and 10% repair success chance. That would be great for carry. And the other constructors. I mean, an extra 15% speed would really help us get things done a lot faster. And speaking of the construction, the trench network itself is almost done, and the barbed wire is looking pretty nifty. Oh, and the plasteel just got done being mined by Vera. No more shall the asteroids clog up our river. Which means that the next thing that will be getting mined will be the massive steel deposit. Very good. Oh, and it would seem that the trench itself is finished. 75 tiles worth of trench. Lovely. Well, technically, that means the trench is done, but the trenches are not. We still have to finish up the barbed wire, and of course, the final machine gun. But once that's done, our defenses will be finished. At least for now, until we get turrets and whatnot. And since we are now getting to machine guns, let's go ahead and finally decommission those scorpions. They served us well, but no longer do we need them. You know what? I just was checking up on our refugees here, and they will be leaving in 11 hours. Now, granted, I could, and arguably should, let them leave. However, counterpoint, they have really good skills, so what I'm going to do is have them all walk themselves into the prison, after disarming themselves, of course, and then we will be arresting them. Because, quite frankly, I can't afford to lose people with skills this good. Child, please drop the axe. Thank you. And Skyphonies, I mean, you don't really have any decent weapons, so you got a stake and a club. Alright. And now, let's go ahead and start preparing to arrest. Alright, so we're going to pause the game, and then we are going to, one at a time, tell them to arrest. And if this works, they should do it all at exactly the same time. And there we go. The quest did technically fail, but now we have all these people. Now, we already converted the 2 adults to the unified commune, so all we need to do here is set them to recruit, but the child does still need to get converted. So we'll go ahead and do that. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to get the prison done last episode. Because now, these guys can sit in here and get properly recruited into the fold. Well, it would seem that we have already used up all the steel we just bought. Somehow. Not entirely sure how that happened, but it did. Alright, well, in that case, let's go ahead and start preparing to do the upgraded armory. And the first thing we're going to need to do is move the drums and deconstruct the campfire, seeing as we will be putting the armory right here. Now, in terms of design for the armory, the first thing it's going to do is be made of slate, obviously, so that it does not get obliterated. And it actually is going to need to be a lot bigger than this one we currently have. So, kind of basing it off of the hospital design in a way, I'm thinking a little something like this, where we can put the armor racks along the sides here, and then we can store the weapons on weapon racks here and here, because I think that would look very pretty. There we go. So that will be the new armory building. Once that's done, we'll deconstruct this one, and that'll be that. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to put down here, but I'm sure we'll think of something eventually. And speaking of the armory and, by extension, equipment, the support kit has been researched. Which means we now need to pick another. You know what? Since we've done trenches, let's do the other thing that trenches are known for, and research flamethrowers. Not entirely sure how handy that'll be, but you know what? If we ever get attacked by the bugs, well, we'll have flamethrowers. Probably won't use them too terribly frequently, though. Last thing we need to do is burn the colony down again. And there we go. The armory is complete. Minus the weapon racks, because we still have no steel. But it is, technically speaking, done. Let's go ahead and start deconstructing some of this stuff in here. But that now means that it is technically able to be checked off the old list. Which brings us to the next project, the houses. It's not going to do to recruit these folks and then not have anywhere for them to live other than the barracks. So we need to figure out how we're going to house them. And unfortunately, we are rapidly running out of space. One easy way to make some space that I'm going to do is to simply move the pigs. Where am I going to move the pigs, you may ask? I'm going to move them over here. And not only am I going to move them over here, I'm actually going to expand this pen to be significantly larger. Make sure we don't accidentally bridge over the mud, though. We're going to do a little something like this. Quite the size increase, if I do say so myself. And, of course, that means we will be deconstructing all of this over here. There we go. And, of course, let's not forget to remove the roof so that we don't accidentally cave in anyone's head. And flamethrowers are done. Now we can do all sorts of fun stuff with those if we ever actually make them. Next up, let's do concrete. Not sure what exactly I would use it for, but it would be nice to have as an option. And with the majority of the old pig pen removed, let's go ahead and start setting up some houses over here. Now, we are going to need to do a little bit of the old finagling in order to get them to fit in such a way that it isn't completely hideous. But it isn't something that should be too terribly hard. At least in theory. It would seem that the graveyards are actually in the way. Which is annoying, but that does kind of track. And I have been meaning to move them into something a little more proper. So let's go ahead and turn the old cornfield into a little graveyard. Something a little bit nicer than what we currently have. Do I need this many graves? Not really, but better to have more than we need, just in case. Never know what the future may hold. And concrete is done. I'm sure we'll get around to using that at some point, but not just yet. And I think next up, let's do... You know what? Let's do Tox Gas. Why not? I've never even touched the stuff. I'm curious. Let's get that researched and see what we can do with that. And Sylvanas has been properly recruited to the colony. No longer a refugee or a prisoner, but instead an actual colony member. Wonderful. Unfortunately, that means I now need to reset up all of their orders. Lovely. Alright, what are you good at again? Not really a lot. You can kind of do construction, I suppose. Well, never hurts to have more people on construction or on crafting. So, that's what you'll be assigned to. Tox gas is done. I'm not even sure how we make this stuff, but I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. Let's do basic electronics next. Get some radios and TVs going. A little bit more recreational activity options. And there we go. 3 of the 6 houses are complete. And the graves are also almost complete. Which means we can go ahead and start preparing to deconstruct the old ones. Which will then give us the space needed to build the last couple of houses. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, we should also probably remove this burned out husk over here. No point in just leaving that there. Go ahead and start working on removing that. Oh, and it looks like Mr. Bend has been converted. Very nice. And now we'll just use him to reduce resistance on. A little bit of social training. And there we go. Those graves are all now deconstructed, which means it is time to put down the last couple of houses we need. Let's see. How do I want to go about doing this? Well, I definitely think we can fit another single house up here. Like so. And then we can fit another double house right here, like that. There we go. Not the prettiest, but it'll work. And they'll have a nice little courtyard here, too. Now, all we have to do is get that constructed, and we will officially have more than enough housing. Of course, we will also need to expand the road to go inside here. Let's go ahead and get that all set up. Just a little something like that. And you know what? Let's also go ahead and have it run up so that we can finally have a path to our borderline never used ideology room. But we'll have a road to it if we ever decide to use it. Oh, and it looks like basic electronics are done. Very good. Once we get some steel, we'll actually be able to do something with that. In the meantime, though, let's do fertility procedures. And Skyphonies has been properly brought into the fold. That only leaves the child. And now that Skyphonies is back in the fold, we once again have to completely do all of this again. Getting real sick of having to set everything back up, but it is pretty worth it. And there we go. We have a lot of constructors now. which is not something I am complaining about, because we are able to construct entire areas of the base in mere days now. Oh. And it looks like the Pact of Verbonlia has sent us a combat supplier. Ooh, that is gonna be fun. Hopefully we can get some goodies from them. Oh. And it looks like we are being raided at the same time by Matikos Ikawas. And unfortunately, these people are wearing war caskets, which is mildly concerning. Because I'm not sure we can actually do anything to them. But we're gonna certainly give it our best shot. So here's what we're gonna do. Vera, I'm gonna need you to basically just sit in there and do nothing. Sylvanas, please go get a gun. Let's see, what guns do we even have? We got shotguns. Shotguns probably aren't gonna do a whole terrible much. Go get that revolver. Skypanese, man the HMG complex. Sam, please come stand over here. Crine, you can go here. Sappy, you can go equip some armor. Carrie, switch to your rifle. Come get on the line. Same with pretty much everyone. Everyone come get on the line. Including Goose, because Goose apparently has been given a sawn-off shotgun for some reason. Traders, I'm really hoping you guys are able to assist us, because we are horribly, horribly outmatched here. Alright, we're gonna have to see if we can even damage these guys. Oh, that door is open down there. Oh no. Sappy, could you close that door, please? There we go. Thank you. Sylvanas, get your gun. Go get on the line. Sappy, you also go get on the line. What are these guys doing? They're still going for the door, apparently. Well, that's okay. That door should hold them for a minute. Maybe. Alright, here they come. Oh, boy. Traders, anytime you guys get here and want to assist, that would be great. Alright, those are auto rifles. Mildly horrifying. I don't think we're doing any damage. Machine gun cannot engage. Oh, they are outside of our engagement range. Oh, no. Oh, wait. He's moving up. Can someone land a hit so I can see if we are actually even able to do anything, please? Oh, here come the traders. This is certainly stressful. Alright, here comes the trading caravan. Hopefully to provide assistance. Oh, and Bella Rose is in fact down. And Goose is also dying. Well, that makes sense. Goose is a child. Let's start tending. Sappy. I could try to send Sappy to engage in melee. But that just seems like a really bad idea against somebody who's wearing essentially uber power armor. I don't even think we can pen that. Sappy, just go rescue Bella Rose, if you can. Hearing a... Okay, yep, that War Casket armor is completely preventing any sort of damage. That's horrifying. Well, we're doing what we can, but what we can do is not a lot. Well, let's just shoot who we can. And, oh dear, we're having a lot of people falling down. Okay. Child, rescue Skypanese. Sylvanas, man the machine gun. I genuinely don't think we're really oh, wait. Wait a second. This person's taking damage, somehow. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. They're doing something. Okay, this is really horrifying. Crine, carry, move your way down the line. Okay, we're starting to dish out minor amounts of damage. It's not a lot, but we're doing something. I think our just overwhelming firepower might, like, do minor amounts of damage. Oh, here comes the rest of them. Oh, no. Alright, change of plans, everyone. Fall back to the hospital. We are not winning that fight. Just fall back, people. Fall back. The traders can do something, maybe. They're certainly doing more than we are. Vera? Vera, please just get to the hospital. Goose, you aren't really succeeding in rescuing Skypanese too terribly much. Sam, you can do it better. Sappy, why are you up there? Run, Sappy. Oh, and Sappy is down. But dying in 21 hours is fine. Alright, let's get to tending. Those who are injured, please begin resting. Alright, and locking ourselves in here to begin doing medical work. Yep, let them ransack the colony. There isn't really a whole lot we can do against them. Come on, Sappy. Start just inching your way towards us. Oh, of course they're going to start lighting my wooden buildings on fire. It's a good thing most of my buildings aren't made of wood. Or at least not the important buildings. Oh, and apparently there is also a Mechanite eclipse. I don't know what that is, but that sounds mildly horrifying. And a man-hunting pack of Animus Voxes. No! I mean, yes, but because they'll attack them, but no, because I really hate those guys dying. Oh, and Sappy is being kidnapped. Well, that's annoying. Considering Sappy is my chef, that means we will need to promote someone else to the rank of chef. And the only other one who's decent is Sam. Well, at least they seem to be slowing these guys down. Not sure if that's a good thing or not. I mean, they're slowing down the guy who's trying to kidnap Sappy. That's useful. This is kind of pathetic, honestly. These guys are wearing uber power armor and are being mauled. Oh, and the nervous grabs Sappy and is going to try and haul her off again. Lovely. Well, hopefully we get a chance to rescue Sappy at some point in the future, but that will have to wait. And we'll just have to wait for those guys to either die or kill all the foxes. Either way, it'll be beneficial to us. Oh, they actually managed to kill one of the guys. Horrifying. Well, the other two look like they're going to make it off the map A-okay. But they did manage to kill one of the guys in a war casket, which is pretty cool. And all the ones that are left are not actively trying to kill us. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna leave this episode off here. We were making a lot of progress, and then we got attacked by people who we could not even harm. So, next episode, I went ahead and looked through the machining table here. We will be making at least one anti-armor rocket launcher, just in case those guys come back. Unfortunately, Sappy got kidnapped, which means Sam is going to have to take over cooking, as annoying as that is. But it shouldn't be too terribly bad. We should be able to manage that. We also got a bunch of research done, so all the more reason now to start investing in some proper military equipment. we took a lot of damage from that. Although, to be honest, not too sure how good flak armor would do against handheld autocannons. But with all that said and done, I will see you all in the next episode.